The first trailer for Gladiator 2 is out. I am in, so let's break it down and explain how the sequel to one of the most epic films of all time is going to look. The trailer immediately begins with Denzel Washington laughing about how much goddamn money they're going to make from this movie. Now, Russell Crowe is not in the sequel, and the guy they got to play the protagonist Maximus type is Paul Mescal. Now, he looks like this, and he's best known for making the world cry their eyeballs out watching this, but for the movie, they make him look like this, which looks exactly like that. And we might not have Russell Crowe as Maximus, but we are running back the same good old concept.
The arena turns slaves into gladiators, the gladiators into free men.
Now, Mescal plays the role of Lucius, who is the rightful heir to the Roman throne, but when co-emperors Caracalla and Geta were snuffing out any potential threats to the throne, they raided his house, they forced him to flee. He's been hiding for the last 15 years. Side note, co-emperors is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. They were brothers, but it's still idiotic. It's like when Michigan and Nebraska were co-national champions in 97-98. There could only be one. And by the way, Caracalla murdered Geta in his mother's arms. Saw that coming a million miles away. Anyway, Lucius disappeared for so long, his own mother doesn't even recognize him. So he blends right back in, and now he's returned to the city as a slave gladiator, and he remembers the day that he watched Maximus take down Commodus as motivation to try to retake his throne.
I remember that day. I never forgot it.
He is encouraged and coached by Denzel Washington, playing the role of Macrinus, who is a souped-up version of Proximo from Gladiator 1.
Win the crowd, and you'll win your freedom.
Now, he was a slave taken from North Africa who also fought as a gladiator, and he ascended to the role of arms dealer for the Roman Empire. Now, he's trying to keep his past as a human cockfighter quiet because he's starting to understand he has a lot of power and he might have a path to the throne himself. He's the arms dealer. He provides the empire with all the weapons and their wine and their oil and their supplies. The list goes on. So he's actually the one with the power behind the army in the empire. If you ask me, it sounds very similar to Frank Lucas, a character from American Gangster, which was also done by Denzel Washington and Ridley Scott. It's kind of like he runs the streets, he has the power behind the scenes, and now he's going to make a run for the top. Now, Macrinus is so rich that he basically treats gladiators like racehorses. He has a whole stable. He owns them, he bets on them.
You will be my instrument.
And he recognizes that one of his prized possessions, Lucius, has a very special gift. He is absolutely fucking crazy.
You have something in you. I knew it from the start.
Did you now?
Rage.
He fights a goddamn dinosaur in the Colosseum. Side note, you can't tell me that rhinos are not dinosaurs. If we just called them rhinosauruses instead of rhinoceros, it would be a dinosaur. It would be a single ceratops, and we would still say that dinosaurs are alive. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Regardless, Lucius defeats him by pulling a little gold dust, or just throws some dust into his eyes, and bam, he runs into the wall. So anyway, Macrinus and Lucius are both going for the crown with their own equal but different claims in their equal but opposite way, both trying to supplant Caracalla and Geta, these two bitch boy emperors who you immediately hate with the fire of 1,000 suns because they say shit like this.
You can eat war.
Now, the co-emperors are protected by the Roman general Marcus Acatius, played by the scorching hot Pedro Pascal. I mean, this guy does not stop. From Game of Thrones to The Mandalorian to The Last of Us, now he's in Gladiator 2, he's going to follow that up with Fantastic Four. What a run! Now, as Marcus Acatius, he seems to have a level head on his shoulders, despite the fact that he's got to protect the two most spoiled psychopaths in the whole empire. Now, Denzel is doing Denzel as he always does in his movies, talking in that same voice with that same cadence, and it kind of throws you for a bit of a loop when you're watching a movie like this and the characters don't automatically have that English accent. Not gonna lie, this part of the trailer did take me out for a moment because we're just so not used to ancient epic films sounding like that. So I'm imagining Denzel is just gonna speak in his patented Denzel voice for this movie.
Everybody's got to skip over me for emperor? Me? See, that's the problem. You are not going to take your crown from me. I am going to take your crown from you.
Now, the trailer concludes with the song No Church in the Wild by Jay-Z and Kanye as the soundtrack as things build to a fever pitch, which, much like the Denzel voice, I expected a modern rap song to take me out of the moment a little bit. Doesn't really fit the vibe. Except that it does. Hov and Gladiator have been intertwined ever since he used Maximus at the beginning of What More Can I Say on the Black Album.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
And the song for the trailer, No Church in the Wild, is off the Watch the Thrones album, which in and of itself is very apropos. And then the song is discussing what mobs and kings and gods mean as we watch a movie with slaves fighting for nobles and people, all while Hov talks about blood stains on the Colosseum doors. That juxtaposition of the musical sound and the time period with the movie feel and the movie time period is very cool. For people who like that type of music, that was for sure a highlight of the trailer. Now, will Gladiator 2 top Gladiator 1? Probably not. Is that a problem? Absolutely not. Because contrary to popular belief from these stuck-up assholes who look down on sequels, if the second installment of a series is bad, it doesn't affect the first one. You can simply pretend it never happened. Personally, I think Ridley Scott with Denzel and Mescal and Pascal, all with the Roman Empire as a backdrop, is going to be a fucking blast. Now, I'm supremely disappointed that Hans Zimmer isn't coming back for the score, but he is being replaced by Harry Gregson Williams, who scored another Denzel classic, Man on Fire. Personally, I can't wait. Unfortunately, we all got it because the movie comes out in goddamn November. I might be dead by then, but if not, it's sure to be a holiday blockbuster.